Welcome back in, sports fans, to another episode of the 2315 Sports Show. We're on episode 38. Just a recap show. Had some good football this past week. Nothing too huge game wise, I don't think. But we're gonna get into it. I didn't this week. Come out. We're um, recording on Thursday again. I didn't like any of the picks for tonight's game, so I did not do any. I just don't. I just don't like tonight's game. It's scary. It's Dallas and the Giants, and I don't have any real good things to say about either team, even though I picked Dallas to be one of the best teams in the league. So I don't know if you got any, but I couldn't even pick anything for this one.
Hey, that's what I was looking at it, and the only things that I had were like just some real small stuff because I couldn't even like wrap my head around these teams too well. So pick just is Cowboys money line. Not even betting with the spread on that one. I would just go Cowboys money line, and then quick parlay would be Singletary anytime touchdown, CD Lamb anytime touchdown, and Malik Neighbors over 3.5 catches.
Ooh,
So all
I like that.
those were on FanDuel, and so small payout. It's not much, but like I didn't write it down, but I think it was like $75 payout on like $10 or something like that. So
Hmm. Eh,
little bit of money to be made, but you know Singletary I
nothing.
think is the wild card there. Maybe CD Lamb, but I think CD's going to have a field day today.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I could see that. They're going to come out with a vengeance, I would think, after playing bad 2 games in a row. So um, I could see that. Um, Jumping right in, college football this past week. We're week 4. So I don't. I didn't really have anything huge this week. It was kind of a lackluster schedule wise. The
Yeah,
only thing I came up with really was a crazy, and we talked about it this week, a crazy overtime win for Colorado. It was just a crazy game in
yeah,
general. Um, Last play of the game, Shador threw one up, caught in the end zone, kind of Hail Mary-ish, but a perfect throw. Um, and then the only other game I had was the Tennessee Volunteers, one of your kind of arch rival schools, definitely in basketball,
yep,
um, kind of making their way in football too.
yeah,
But they they went down to Oklahoma, and I know the score didn't say it, but they smacked them in the mouth. They gave them
yeah,
a proper welcome to the SEC football, and I don't think Oklahoma's ready for it.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so those were the two big games. I don't know. I know you're kind of done on Colorado. Were you impressed at anything on that game or no?
Baylor's not a horrible school. They're just
Hmm.
not a premier program, anymore. It's been a while since they've been real relevant. Uh, I was just impressed with Travis Hunter more than anything. He had a great game on offense and forced a fumble to win the game on defense. He's really out there proving why he's about to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft this upcoming year. So, as far as the Colorado game goes, that's about all I've got.
Hmm.
I'm a huge Hunter fan still. You know, Colorado, with all the hype that they have, they took care of business like they should have. Was it something that they could have done better? I think they should have played a little bit better and won. You know, made it an easier game for them. But every game they have seems to be a grind. They don't
Hmm.
have a whole lot of just easy games. So, um, you know, they'll keep proving themselves. And if they keep working and prove themselves, then maybe my stance on them will change. But for right now, it's they've got a long way to go.
I like it. I like it. That you made a good point. Travis Hunter being top 5 pick. personally, I think he's one of one. I don't. I,
Yeah.
I don't know how you pass him up. Honestly, like even if you need a quarterback, I don't like. We've seen rookie quarterbacks. None of them. We'll get into that a little later, but none of them have really shined right off the gate, with an exception of one last year. But um,
Yeah.
Travis Hunter, he could fill two positions for you if you needed it. So I don't see how he gets past one, but he will. Hopefully, maybe to your Patriots or something crazy like that. But
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for because he's spectacular. Someone to
yeah,
help out the rookie quarterbacks or the young quarterbacks, give them a weapon, but then also make an impact on the defensive end, whether it's, you know, 90% of the downs or 50% of the downs. Like he's a guy that can make an impact both sides of the ball.
yeah, yeah. I think he deserves more of the hype around him than Shador or any of the Colorado hype, in my opinion. Obviously, he's not going to get it because he's not Deion's son, but I think
Yeah.
he's the real deal. He's as advertised, and I kind of feel bad. I think I don't want to say he's wasted on that team, but I feel we are we're out some. I don't know how to say it, but we're out seeing him with a top tier team. Like if
Yeah.
he would have went to Texas, if he would have went to Michigan, if he would have went to Tennessee. I mean, I think we're out a lot by missing that. But he's still doing it in Colorado. But I feel it would have been insane at one of those other ones, Ohio State, even any of those. So, um, obviously, both of us were kind of tired of the Colorado stuff. But again, both big fans of Travis Hunter for sure. As far as anything else from college, I don't really see anything that happened this week. But we do
Yeah.
kind of in preparation for next week. Um, we have a huge matchup Saturday night, absolutely monstrous, and
Yep.
I wouldn't bring it up, but my wife is a diehard Alabama fan, so we have Georgia traveling to Tuscaloosa to face Alabama. So Bulldogs and Crimson Tide Saturday night under the lights. That place is going to be rocking.
Yep.
It that's a huge game to have 4 games into the year. So, early predictions, I'm taking Alabama. I think they're going to win. I think this is going to be the first big
Okay.
staple win for their new coach. It's at home. Fans are going to be obnoxious. But I see them winning that game, but I don't know as Alabama wins the SEC. So, but I do
Okay.
see them winning that game per se. So I don't know what your thoughts are, but I'm going to give Alabama. I'm going to give them 7 points. I'm going to have them winning by a touchdown against
Okay.
Georgia.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. So, you know, I was just trying to play back in my head like where advantage is, where who's got an advantage at what position, just trying to break it down to get, like gut feeling. I want to pick Georgia. One, I'm just not a huge Alabama guy, but two, I think Georgia's, 2 weeks. Georgia didn't play last week.
No.
2 weeks ago. Yeah. And so 2 weeks ago, they almost got beat by Kentucky. So they've got a bad taste in their mouth again going into Alabama. Revenge game from the SEC championship. Like they've got something to prove. I do think Jaden Milroe is a better quarterback than Carson Beck. I think Georgia's got the edge on the run game with ETN. I do believe Alabama's got better receivers, but defense as a whole, Georgia's better. Georgia's got a better tight end. They have a better offensive line, I believe. So I think it'll be real close. There's no blowout. It'll be a good defensive game, low scoring game, probably in the late teens, you know,
Mm,
low
okay.
20s, something like that. It'll be close. But I'm going to pick Georgia to win just because I like Kirby Smart. Um, not that I went blank on their coach's name. Come from Washington, Alabama's coach,
Yeah.
but not that I don't think he can handle the pressure because he can. Obviously, he beat Alabama, took them or no, they didn't beat Alabama, did they? Or yeah, they beat Alabama to go to the national championship game,
Hmm. Yeah.
and so like, and then went toe to toe with Michigan. They got beat, but I don't think he's going to shy away from this big moment.
No.
So it's going to be awesome. But Kirby Smart's a little bit better of a coach, so I'm just going to go Georgia by a field goal. It will be
Ooh,
close.
field goal. I like it. Yeah. So
Yep,
Alabama's coach is that Kalen DeBoer, however you say his last name.
Debower. That's right. I was thinking
Um,
Dabo, but I know that's Dabo Sweeney. So
it did have a weird name. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I will give the coaching to Kirby Smart, which could end up losing the game for Alabama for sure. This is
yeah,
DeBauer's first big test, huge test, and big SEC rivalry now, most likely, and big game on Saturday. So I like it. I
yeah,
like it. Different teams and kind of different outcomes a little bit score wise. So we'll see.
yeah.
We'll see.
Well, yeah. And so I'm gonna throw this one out here real quick.
Okay.
Outside of Georgia, Alabama, upset of the week coming in.
Hmm.
This is a homer pick if there's ever been a homer pick. But Kentucky's going to go into Ole Miss and give
Beat them.
them their first loss and beat them. I think Vandergrift's going to come out there and let it rip. And so their transfer running back Trainum's finally coming back. The defensive line's hungry. And so I think they're going to go into Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin, he's going to struggle with that pressure, I think, a little bit. And then Jackson Dart, I think he's going to make some mistakes, and Kentucky's going to come out on top. So upset
Ooh,
of the week right there.
big homer pick there. Yeah. So
That's right.
I never want you saying or cheering for North Carolina again because they were
Yeah,
a
sorry about that.
downfall. Yeah, that that hurt. Um, I'm pretty sure James Madison would have beat Georgia that week, but uh,
Yeah.
that's so you can keep their name out your mouth. In other words,
Maybe I should just stop talking college football because I was like North Carolina going to the playoffs.
Mhm.
USC's going to crush Michigan. They lost.
Yep.
I've been wrong a lot on college football this year. So maybe when you talk college football, I'm just gonna sit here like yes
No,
and
that
just
could
not
be.
say nothing. Just
That could be.
leave it up to you. Yeah,
Or maybe this is your turning point. Maybe you call it with Kentucky. I'm not I'm not on that trend. That Jackson Dart dude he's really good.
yeah.
Um Lane Kiffin's good, but
I'm
this is
gonna
their first
retract my
test.
statement. We're losing by 40.
Okay, there you go. Oh, see, you're
Retract my
reversing it.
statement.
That way they come out just
Yep.
like you said. You said against Georgia they would be bad, and look what happened.
Yeah. Well, Ole Miss has outscored opponents like 190 to like 13.
Yeah,
So it's not changing. Ole Miss by 40.
yeah. Oh, going against it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
changed
mind
my
Ole
mind.
Miss. Actually, I kind of like. I saw a couple TikToks with that Jackson Dart, and he's kind of. I hate to say this, but he's like the new age Johnny Manziel, like the safe
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel. In other words,
Yeah.
the legal Johnny Manziel, I guess you'd say.
The legal
And
Johnny.
I kind of like him. He's got a little chip, and he's not afraid to show it. So that should be interesting this
That's
year.
right.
Hopefully they finish strong. I don't mind them.
That's right. So, Johnny Manziel, if you're listening, hit up
Yeah,
the pod.
that's right. That's right. That would be awesome. And his new podcast should be starting pretty soon too, which looks pretty wild.
Yeah, that'll be
Um,
awesome too.
Big Johnny fans here, obviously. But that's pretty much it for college football. We not big this week, not really huge things last week. So just kind of continuing the trend. We do move on to a little NFL where we had, see, I'm going to get my notes up here. We just had a couple decent games. There's a couple things I want to say about a particular team, but we'll keep that under wraps right now. So in this past week, both of our teams lost, the Bears and the Patriots.
Yep.
Both of them look bad doing it. So we're going to save that for last. We had Atlanta, who almost had the Chiefs. Second time of the year that the Chiefs should have gotten beat. Do you think the refs gave them that game too?
You know, I was pissed when I woke up and seen that call.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, really? How are you not going to call that when literally a week ago you gave them the opportunity on a pass interference call, but you're not going to give the same opportunity here?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was pass interference and they should have called it. I don't think the refs gave them the game because the Falcons had plenty of opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
They come back a drive later and had an opportunity and squandered it. So I do feel like they get favorable calls.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's as much as I could rant, but I'm not going to.
He's not gonna.
I think you know how I feel about the Chiefs. So
I do, and I get it. I'm kind of leaning that way too. I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing about it, but they are good. I'm not taking anything away from Mahomes. He's one of the best probably to ever do it, to be honest. And he continues. He will be the best to ever do it, unfortunately. But he's got a long way to go. And I will say, I don't know about you, but question on Travis Kelce. He looks a little slower, doesn't he?
He looks old. He looks old out there. All that going to concerts and going to Argentina and hanging out with T Swizzle is hurting him a little bit. So, but if you believe the leaks, they're due for a breakup in 2 days.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah. So, and I don't know how true. And like some reports were like it's AI generated, but like his contract got leaked or whatever, and it was like Taylor Swift, Kelce breakup 9/28. So they're due for a breakup here soon. So
they are. Okay. Releasing
Saturday right before a big game. So yeah, we'll see. But no, for real, he does look old out there. And maybe they're just playing it easy with him because it honestly reminds me of Gronk in his last few Patriot years, like old, sluggish. You know, they were easy on him in the first little bit. Second half of the season, he ramped up and he balled out so they could have a postseason run. So maybe that's what they're going for, getting everybody else involved, the young receivers, running backs, trying to get confidence built for everybody else. But I mean, yeah, you're looking at what, like 60, 70 yards receiving all year long, no touchdowns, less than 10 catches. Like it's not looking good for him.
No. And I agree. I could see it, like you said, get everyone else involved. That would make sense. Their draft pick looks great, Xavier Worthy. I mean, he's fine. The Rashid Rice looks fine. Their running game is questionable now that Pacheco's out, but the kid's not bad that took his place. He kind of runs the same way. And the dude has an alligator as a pet. I mean, I wouldn't mess with
that's
him. Cool. So I agree. I think he's lost. I think he's lost a step, actually, and he'll probably go out and prove me wrong and get 100+ yards this week. But he seems a little seasoned, if you will. Um, so I'm going to go in on my team, the Bears. I'll let you have the last minutes or so to go in on your team, but I know for you for any of you that watched, the Bears played the Colts this week, and it was a game that I thought they should win,
Yep.
and they did not. Um, I'll start with the bad. The line sucks. It, the, I mean, I shouldn't say they were a little better, but not much. They still suck. Um, the play calling matches the suckiness of the offensive line. We were
Yep.
down at the 2-1, maybe 3 straight running plays, and fourth down was a read option, or not a read option, a speed option, college play.
Yeah.
That doesn't work in the NFL. It
No.
doesn't. Um, you have this kid as a quarterback in there for a reason. Let him throw the damn ball. I don't care. I don't care how close you are. We don't have a Derrick Henry in the backfield that we could hand it off 4 times and he's going to get in. Like,
Yeah.
or Saquon or any of those guys that the percentages are if you hand it off 4 times in a row, you're going to get in. And those guys will get in. I would take that bet 10 out of 10 times. DeAndre Swift is not that guy. And he's not built that way. So now our other guy, I think is like Roshan Johnson, I think his name is.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a little beefier. He might be able to do it, but they're not giving him the ball. So that's the bad. The play calling sucks. The coaching sucks. The line is horrible. I don't know if anyone saw it. I'm sure you did if you're on Twitter and you follow anything Colts or Bears or football. Every Bears lineman was on the ground on that option. Every one of them.
That was bad.
On a run play.
That was bad.
I don't get it. So that's the bad. The good, I actually think Caleb Williams threw the ball decently. I mean, he had 363 yards. I don't think I've seen a Bears quarterback throw for that many yards in my lifetime besides Jay Cutler, maybe. So, I mean, I know he had a couple interceptions. I honestly don't care about the interceptions. They're going to come. The one was bad. The one where he threw toward the sideline. That's just a hard throw. The other one, whatever. And he finally threw his first touchdown to Roma Dunze, who should be catching footballs. So,
yep.
I do still believe we're 3 games in, 3 games. And I do still believe he was the right choice, even though our other choice is currently 3-0 and just scored a first touchdown as well. So I don't know. I have reserves. It all starts and ends with the coaching, in my opinion. Justin Fields under Tomlin, totally different guy, totally different team makeup. So that's my take on the Bears. Hopefully for a better week this week. I think they play the Rams. Not likely, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley might be coming sooner than later.
Yeah, yeah. And listen, I watched 90% of the Bears game because I had the Bears Titans or Bears Colts and the Titans Jets, I think, and I'm not watching the Titans or the Jets. So I watched it and I was like, it wasn't a horrible game. Caleb finally got out there and threw the ball, but the play calling is still not great.
No.
And to be able to get somebody like Rome Odunze is not a guy to run across the middle a whole lot, and neither is DJ Moore. So you're about to get Keenan Allen back, who that's what he's done his whole career is slot guy across the middle. So that'll be good for Caleb a little bit. But I did see a report the other day that it was Caleb's wanting to get to the line faster so he can, look at the defense, read the defense, make the adjustments, but he's not having time to do that because their offense coordinator's so busy making substitutions over and over and over again, changing the formations every play that they're having to sub people in and out, and then they're not getting to the line of scrimmage till there's 10 seconds left on the clock. And I probably counted, 8 to 12 times where he's sitting there at the line of the scrimmage and he's like, come on, ball, like trying to get the ball as fast as he could because the play clock's running down. And so they've got some figuring out to do as a whole. But changes are going to have to be made to turn the season around because you're wasting a top 5 defense right now.
Yes.
So, and only imagine how much better that defense would get with an offense that stays on the field some, where the defense isn't having to be on the field for 30 minutes of the game. 30 to 48 minutes they're on the field. So, they've got to make some adjustments. Sure,
I like it. I do. I agree. I personally think the Bears defense is a Super Bowl defense. I'll label them as that.
Absolutely, they are.
They're very good.
Yeah.
And borderline unstoppable.
I don't see a weak spot on the defense. Their pass rush is good since they got Montez Sweat. They got Tremaine Edmonds, in that middle.
Yep.
And then their secondary's like legit.
Yes.
So, I mean, if they're going to upgrade anywhere, I would upgrade the secondary and get a number 2 corner, a better one, or a safety. But still, they're still really good. So yes. I don't see a major weakness on that defense at all. So, like you said, that's a Super Bowl defense.
It is. And again, I saw enough good that, as Bears fans, we're like, just wait till it all clicks together. Like, when, the play calling comes in faster. He's getting up there reading the defense. He changes things because he can read. I mean, he can read defenses.
Yeah.
Like, he's a smarter quarterback than we've had. And I just want it all to click. And if it does, and if it's not too late, look out, because they could be a surprise team coming through, especially with the defense. So what about your Patriots? Is it time for Drake Maye to come in? Or are you wanting him to sit?
There was not a lot of good from the game Thursday. We were bad. So I'm looking ahead at our schedule. I don't want to play Drake Maye too early to where he's going to come in and absolutely struggle. I did see reports again that he was going to start at some point this year. They just don't know when. But there was the defense coordinator was talking to the media today, and he's like, Drake Maye threw a pass deep in the secondary, squeezed it between 2 defenders for a 70-yard bomb. And they were jaws dropping. So he's getting better. But so they play the 49ers this week. And then the Dolphins, which I don't know what to think about the Dolphins yet, but the Texans. And then they go to London. And so after that, then they go play the Jets again. And then it's Titans, Bears, Rams, Dolphins again, bye week. Or no, Colts, then bye week. So you can't really wait till the bye week when there's only 3 games left. So if I'm going to play him anywhere, it's after the next Jets game. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 in 5 games. Give him 5 more games. So when we're 1-7 or 2-6. And then come in versus the Titans. You've got a better matchup there versus the Titans. One that's favorable for him to be able to come in and play well. And then the Bears, the Rams, the Dolphins. That's 4 games, 4 winnable games right there. So that's what I would do if I'm the Pats, but they seem to know a little bit better than me, but I'm ready to see Drake Maye. I'm ready to see what we got, but because hell, our Ramondre Stevenson had a terrible game, but he's our lone bright spot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but they're feeding him the rock. Like he's carrying the ball 30 times a game. Our offensive line's bad. It's really bad. The defense is good. We have a good defense. We're not as good as the Bears, but we have a top 10 defense. Injuries are hurting us a little bit right now. But Kendrick Bourne comes back in a few weeks for receiver. He'll be our wide receiver one, which that'll help. Um, I just next year maybe we'll be better. Well, I'm not looking for a good year this year, but at some point I'd like to see Drake Maye at least halfway through the year. So, but I'm ready now, but I understand the development phase of it. I don't want to put him back there with a trash offensive line and not good weapons either, and then him just get beat up and lose confidence. So I would sit him.
I get it. That's a good take. Yeah, I watched a little bit of that game and it didn't look pretty, but we're in the same boat. Both of us have horrible offensive lines and you can't win with it. So things got to get figured out real quick on both sides because Chicago's itching for something to cheer about and New England's ready to get back to winning. So, I mean, it's a tough call for sure.
And that's looking at our teams now. Like, hindsight's always 20/20, but in the draft, like the Bears probably should have went offensive line instead of Rome Odunze.
Probably.
And then, especially, you already had Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. Like, having nice weapons are nice, but like, you need to be able to protect the franchise. And if I was the Patriots at 3, I would have traded down a couple picks and try to pick, or at least 1, maybe 2, and pick Joe Alt instead of letting the Chargers get him.
Yep.
You've got your franchise left tackle for 15 years, and then. I mean, heck, you still start Jacoby Brissett next year. Then you get a guy, whether it be Sanders or Quinn Ewers or whoever else it is. You've got options. So maybe look at the trade market to see who's out there, Trevor Lawrence or Justin Herbert or whoever else. So, I mean, like I said, hindsight's 20/20, but, we like the flashy picks. We don't like the trenches pick.
No, ever. Nobody does. Nobody does. Kind of the only thing that stuck out to me was not even in our games. I forgot to mention it, but Sam Darnold might be a good quarterback. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
What's wrong with him? 4 touchdowns against the Houston Texans. Like, I know the Texans again are playing down, but.
Yep.
I don't know. It looked pretty good from what I saw. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I seen the other day somebody was talking about like different quarterbacks. Like it's you can really tell it's a system thing, like getting into a good system. So like Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield both were horrible. And so like now you got Bryce Young playing in a horrible system. Will he be good somewhere else? Like, you never know. But it's cool to see guys like that succeed. Sam Darnold is lighting it up right now.
Yeah, he is.
MVP right now. If I had a vote, which, if I did, it would be Sam Darnold. He'd be the guy right now. Yeah. I got a 23XB vote.
That's right.
So
we got a media vote.
He would be the guy, the MVP. That's right.
Yeah. I don't mind that at all. They're good. They got a true test this week against Green Bay. We'll see where he's at.
Yeah.
But for right now, he's looking good. So before we end it, just a little bit of a random thing, just because it happened today. NBA, the Chicago Bulls, our chosen one, our son, the city's son, retired finally. Had 16 years. That's Derrick Rose. I tweeted at least 2 or 3 different things about him. He was my favorite for many, many years. And probably I've heard a lot of like TikToks on him today. And like Jamal Crawford, was asking, who's the best, and they said him before he got injured. Like he could have
Yeah.
been one of the best if he didn't get injured. It's all those what if things. Youngest MVP at 22. And what a uplifting like few years for the Bulls when he was healthy and they were going to the playoffs. Like couldn't shoot worth a lick, but
It
that
would have came. It would have came.
team was very, very good with him and pure athlete, like craziness. So congratulations, Derrick Rose, on retiring and a lot of memories in a Bulls uniform that'll live on for a while. So a lot of people go back and forth with his numbers, not stats wise, but like award numbers.
Yeah.
I'd probably put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean it's getting easier to get into those things now. And then just because he's from Chicago, you put his number up in the rafters. And that's what I'm going to
Yep.
say on that. Just because of Chicago, no other reason. Like,
Yeah.
he brought a lot of excitement, a lot of stuff to that franchise, and I think he deserves to go up there. So we'll see.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past him. They'll put it up there. I was thinking that, and like while you were talking, I was like, Hall of Fame, maybe, but I was like, it is easier to get into the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame because it's like for college too. So it's a whole career. So I think it's a possibility there for him. But I think the number going up, I would put money on it.
Yep. And if he does, I'm gonna try my best to sweet talk my wife and letting us go because that would be
cool.
really cool. So
yeah.
With that, I got nothing. If you got nothing, hit them with the outro.
All right. We just want to thank everybody for tuning in. However, wherever you may be listening, if you like the content you're receiving, hit the like, subscribe button, Facebook, Twitter, Apple Pod, Spotify, YouTube. See you next week. Peace.